Welcome to another week of Rain City Roar with technical difficulties. I'm Butler.
I'm Neil.
And I'm Detroit Rick. And I'm not happy, bitches.
Whoa, Rick. Slow down there a minute. You guys jump on in the chat. We'll give you a couple minutes to get ready. We can start answering questions. We got a lot to talk about this week after last week. So first of all, we had some technical difficulties, so it's not going to look the same this week. I'm not going to say it's user error because Neil checked it. So we've really got an issue with Ricky's computer. But
well, we thought we'd be a dumpster fire like the Lions were today.
Oh, man.
Come on. Whoa! Same old Lions right off the bat.
I didn't say same old Lions. I didn't say that.
Fast. No, we already had it in the chat.
Yeah.
In the chat. Already happened.
Yeah.
That's a new record. It's a new record.
Hey, guys, be sure to like us, share us, and subscribe, man.
Or don't. We don't care.
No, or don't. Yeah. Fuck it.
No, we care. We care. Yeah, so let's get to the game. Well, first of all, Rick, close your eyes. Oh, shit, this is going to be hard. Close your eyes.
No.
You don't have to take your headphones off. Close your eyes.
I'll go
That's the over-under for this week.
I'll be back.
No words. He's not wearing headphones. You're going over?
Yeah, I'm definitely going under. Yeah, all right. That's about how many times Rick says the word penis. What the fuck was that?
Podcast Etiquette 101.
I can phone up my game. Shut up.
Rick forgot to mute his phone.
Oh, Andy, we'll talk about what we think of the coach today. And what's up, Austin? Good to see you, bud. First quarter, stalled out drive. It started okay, running the ball. We were catching the ball, and then we go for a field goal, and he bangs it off the upright.
Yep. This was a tough game. This was a tough game to watch all the way around. I understand, and I was saying ahead of time during the game because they went for a lot of fourth downs, which is alarming because they had so many fourth downs. But they went for a lot of fourth downs during this game, and I was saying before the attempt whether I agreed with it or not agreed with it. And
there was a third one you disagreed with,
and there was I think the third one where they went for it like in their territory later on that they didn't get. I said I disagree with it, and then we'll get to all of them throughout this conversation. But tough game to watch. We the Lions led, or the Lions were not losing for 59 minutes a game, and we lost the game. So tough one to deal with.
Well, we were just talking about it, but the thing that set the tone for the whole game was the fourth down conversion halfway through the first. It's definitely not a conservative Lions offense. And I think they converted on 3 of them, 3 out of 3 on the first half. Mm-hmm. And we'll talk about what happened in the second half. But I guess let's just start with the first quarter and the first half. Do you think that was the right call?
Yeah.
What about you, Rick?
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree 100%. You got to gamble, and Campbell can gamble, so.
I think it's the right. I think it's the right call.
Yeah, I do too.
I think you have to look at the big picture. So if it's the right call halfway through the first quarter, it was definitely the right call instead of missing that field goal in the fourth quarter.
Well, on that note, we should bring drunk-ass Prater back.
Hey, Prater.
He hit it.
Yeah, he absolutely hit him. Oh, I forgot. We talked about one thing we want to talk about. We've been doing this for, it's been 8 weeks now in a row. We've been talking about nicknames for Rodrigo. And Neil came up with a fantastic nickname, which really didn't apply today because the defense was pretty silent besides the penalties. But Neil, why don't you explain to us what your idea for a nickname for Rodrigo is?
So my thought process through this was that at first I just want to say I was really surprised that you didn't just immediately shit all over it. But my thought process was a nickname should be short, it should be sweet, it should be powerful. And you look at Malcolm Rodriguez and you say, this is a badass dude. This is someone that loves to fight, and he's got a little bit of a cowboy theme going on. So I sat there and I thought a long time. It's been 5-6 weeks now that I've been thinking of what he should be called rather than Rodrigo. And there's one badass cowboy that came to mind. And I think you're going to like it.
I think I will.
Butler, do you happen to have an image for this one?
I like I said, I forgot, but I got the nickname ready to go. So whenever you're ready.
So for all the folks that watch the show Yellowstone, who's the most badass cowboy on that show?
That'd be motherfucking Rip. You put
one single syllable. It speaks volumes. I'm going with Rip. I will no longer refer to him as Rodrigo. He's Rip.
When Rip puts the gloves on, someone's going to die.
So our nickname campaign is Rip Rodrigo, which Rip is a defensive move. It's the underarm up. That's a rip on the defense. So
Austin 3-0 against the spread. All right, I love that because I pick the Lions every week and I'm good in my football pool, but that doesn't help our standings much, Austin. Damn it, dude.
I mean, we did cover the spread again, so at least gambling wise, we're not losing this year. But I'd much rather win games.
Can I throw this out there? I know I'm going to jump ahead of the game, but that's what I do. Butler trying to piss you off. Coach has lost this game for us, man.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. I sent out something on Twitter's where I'm most active, but
I thought it was Pornhub.
Well, that they get to see.
Twitter's okay. I got you. Okay.
It was, I think, it was right after they scored that last touchdown. Right after the Vikings scored that last touchdown. I said that the game is entirely on the coaching staff at this point. And there were some really weird decisions that were made. You've got, and stop me if I'm going ahead, Butler, because I know you like to keep.
I got a graphic to support this. Go ahead.
But you went for it on how many fourth down attempts?
Rip Rod.
And Rip Rod. You go for it on how many fourth down attempts, and you're overwhelmingly successful on them. You miss one or two, but you're getting the fourth downs. And then you decide, being up 3 points with a little over a minute left, to attempt a field goal. After all of that, how today went, you attempt to go for a field goal, which it doesn't put you up by 2 scores. It puts you up by 6 points. I just don't get it at that point, because if you go for it and you fail, they get the ball where you are. If you kick it and you're up by 1 score, if you kick it and you fail, or even if you make it, they get the ball where you are and you're up by 1 score. Except with the one scenario, if you go for it and you convert, that's game. Game's over at that point. They have no timeouts left. You're golden. You just take a handful of knees and you're done. So to go for it in that situation was curious. I did not agree with that at all. And then you look at it once the Vikings get the ball and they start to drive, and then we bless them with our remaining timeouts to give them time to
more time on the clock.
I was trying to think of a scenario where that made sense and I couldn't.
No, there's no scenario that none of it makes any fucking sense. It's 4th and 4. You go for it. You run the clock down to 30 seconds. You give them the ball with freaking 40 seconds left. But no, we try to kick a field goal. We give them the ball with great field position and no timeouts because we call a timeout. I'm not a coach by any means. You gotta know that shit. But damn, I'm dumb as a box of rocks. But shit.
Yeah, that was a rough call.
In my opinion, and I believe.
All right. Well, we jumped ahead to the 4th quarter. Let's finish up. Williams got a touchdown. That was nice. Hawkinson gets a touchdown. I mean, it's nice to see Hawkinson again. I was real happy about that. I mean, I know we're all Hawkinson fans, so
yeah. Was it Williams' first or second touchdown where he got the penalty afterwards?
That was the second one. That's correct.
That was the second one. Okay.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
Well, not yet.
We will. Let's take a quick break and let the chat catch up here, and we'll talk about our sponsor, Montucky Cold Snacks. You guys,
one thing that never fails us.
That's right. Always there for us every week. Always
cheers, bitches.
Nice.
Cheers, Butler.
Brought up a graphic for you. I don't know how that one keeps getting in there. That's so weird. All right, hold on a second. This is the Montucky Cold Snack Finder. You guys can go to Montucky's website and find the beer near you. I just like that one better. I'm sorry.
Bless her little heart.
That was Rick that was modeling for that picture, by the way.
If it was, I'd be having fun with myself.
He was tucked. He was tucked. Also, sponsored by GearUpDetroit.shop. Use your coupon code RCR25 off. If you guys haven't used that yet, that's a pretty cool little deal, and lots of fun shirts on there. I got to get our shirt over there. That's right. I told it. That's my to-do list. Hold on. All right. Let's go ahead and we go into the second quarter tied up. It's again second quarter. We just kind of let them get back in the game again. So I mean, last week they didn't. I'm sorry, this week they did.
That's the 2 weeks in a row where we went out to a nice lead, and then I don't know what happened, but it seemed like the foot came off the gas, and the team just was relaxed, and the other team caught up. Got to get over that. Got to get past that. I don't understand. I don't exactly understand how that happens. I know that the Vikings got we played. So I mean, we're looking at a real small sample size right now. We're 3 games in. We're 1-2, and we opened against the Eagles. We played the Eagles well. We didn't play them well enough, but we could have won that game. The Eagles stomped Minnesota last week, so I was optimistic coming into this week, and just kind of seeing the full body of work of what they put together through 2 whole regular season games, and we absolutely should have won today. There's no reason why we should not have won today, and I don't want to get it's early in the season. I don't want to get in the whole ref conversation. You guys can have the ref conversation if you want to, but I don't want to be at a point where we're blaming refs on things. But that game was just managed so poorly towards the end that they could have very easily walked out of there with a win today. Very easily walked out of there with a win today with a couple different decisions made by the guys wearing the headphones.
Right.
And that's frustrating. That's frustrating. Those guys played really well.
And you know what? I think all of us had picked us to lose this game on the road when we did our first predictions. But then we had a chance to win this game. And to win a road game in our division would be huge for motivation, just to have that. And we'd be tied for first regardless of what happened with any other team. This would have been a huge win for us. We had two leads above 10 points twice. We were never behind. We were tied. Like Neil said earlier, we didn't lose the game until the
last
end.
minute. Yeah.
You know? Don't want to get too far ahead with the penalties. And I'm not the guy that always blames the officials. But come on, man. There was no penalties on the Vikings to the fourth quarter. No.
Yeah, well, they made up for the fourth.
When it was fourth down and Goff was running and they punched Goff started to slide, the guy hit him after he slid and punched him in his back. They showed it 2 times on the replay. As he went to tackle Goff, he punched him and Goff was already sliding on his knees. Nothing.
Yeah.
Now I'm not going to be the guy that's going to blame the officials, but a couple of them pass interference calls were the same thing they did to our guys. I don't mind you having bad calls on both sides. Call the game fair.
That goes back to what we were brought up earlier. Where was the defense? Because the only thing I heard about defense all day was, and you were right, Rick, he had 6 penalties on Warrior. But 6 penalties, I don't think I heard Hutchinson's name once. I heard Rodrigo once.
A couple times.
But for the Rip, I heard Rip a couple times. But, I mean, the defense was just kind of, if it wasn't Kirk Cousins playing against us, it could have been a lot worse. The defense. Yeah,
because at one time I looked at the stats. One time when he was 4 for 9, I think, and Goff. I'm telling you, Goff was a man today, man. He was Gotham. That's his new nickname.
I gotta agree. I was not disappointed in Goff. He played well. He threw downfield. He wasn't afraid. And honestly, that last one, that last interception, you're going deep. It's a Hail Mary type of play. Right. I get it. I'm not even going to really hold that against him, but. Goff played a pretty solid game. He had a big 3rd down conversion in the fourth quarter that kept us going. I mean, we went 4 and out on the next one, but he had a big third down conversion. He played really well. I'm glad I gave him 6 games before I totally wrote him off because we're 3 in and I'm almost there.
Imagine Reynolds catching that deep ball with no one around him. Imagine that.
That one at the end of the first half. God, he just didn't. He had no idea the ball was there.
He lost it wide open right there.
He had taken his foot off the gas pedal. He thought the ball went somewhere else, and he had the guy beat. And it was a beautiful ball. It was totally catchable if he just would have kept running. And he had no idea that the ball was there. That would have been a huge play for them to have. And that would have been probably one of the easiest touchdowns that he would have ever had in his career.
Right. Yep. What if?
No, what if? Well, Desean asked
what's grasshoppers have machine guns, birds wouldn't fuck with them.
That's true.
Think about that.
If my grandmother had wheels, she would have been a bike.
Desean wants to know what our thoughts are on defensive back and safety play. Well, I think you know what our thoughts are on both of those. That was
No.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
No, we're not gonna skip that. We're not gonna skip that. We're not gonna call that a
No,
watch.
I was about to say it, but go ahead, please.
What were you gonna say, Butler?
I was gonna say it was fucking terrible.
Okay, I disagree with you. I think Okudah played a very good
I thought
game.
we were gonna agree this whole time. We were on pace. We agreed on 3 things in a row. And I know we agree on 4 or 5 more. So if you're gonna disagree with me on this, then I want to hear from the chat on this because
this is still real life. We're not going to agree.
The defensive backs played fucking terrible, both of them. So
no, I think that Okudah played a very good game. Jefferson, he had some catches, but he was overall pretty limited in the game. That was entirely Okudah's fault, which that's a great thing to get blamed for, is Jefferson not having a good game.
Right.
And then the one person who I'm really becoming a fan of very quickly is Desean Elliott. That dude lays the wood, man. When he comes in and hits you, if he can get square on you, he's hitting you hard. There were a couple shots that he put on people during this game, and he even did it last week too. But he's the thumper, man. Like, he hits hard, and he's a good sized fella. So I would say good game, great game to Okudah and Elliott. I would say not so great of a game for Oruwariye.
Okay.
Not so great of a game. Whoever left him open with 45 seconds left in the end zone either.
No, his new nickname, freaking penalty. That's cut and dry.
I asked a question on Twitter during the game. I said, did we get Nevin Lawson back because we just keep hearing penalty on number 24? That was frustrating. It was like every play they were calling something on him. And if you really watch those, none of them were that egregious. Like, they could have easily been.
Well, there was a couple that was told blatant. There was a couple.
I disagree, man. Like, we're playing a football game. They're playing a football game. They're not playing.
So you think they were targeting them? Because I'm telling you, I was so confused. I was walking around the bar, scratching my watch and winding my ass.
Well,
while he was still in the game, my bald, short, fat ass vagina having person coming out there and made a better play to him.
The thing that frustrated me with him the most in the penalties that he was getting was they were penalties that were away from the ball.
Right.
You got good plays that are being made on one side of the field, and they're calling this bullshit on the other side.
He had 3 defensive holding calls.
Thielson acted like he was getting assaulted walking down the street. He wasn't. If you saw that play towards the end of the game where they didn't call it on him when they were both given hands, he was playing just as aggressive as the other one was. So I don't know. I don't know what the deal is. But so Rick, what do you think of the cornerbacks and safeties? You on Neil's side or my side?
I'm on Neil's side because he's sitting next to me. If I'd agree with him, punch me. He's got big dick beaters, man. This
motherfucker.
He popped me in my coconut. See, look at that.
I hate you guys. All right. So we go into the second quarter. We're tied up. We talked about the defense. Williams touchdown and penalty. Good Lord Jesus, jumped up Palamine on a stick. Are you fucking kidding me? I mean, we all fucking nailed it right away. I'm going to show the video. You guys, if you guys didn't see, here's the penalty when it was called on Williams for celebrating. Art in real life imitates art, or art imitates real life, whatever they say. But that was wow. And,
wow!
And the guy and one of the guys that wrote that skit is from Detroit, so you know it's the truth. So
the funny thing was that somebody actually mentioned that. Like
the announcer mentioned it when they came back from commercial.
So I sent the message to the group chat saying that was the Hingle McCrinkleberry penalty, and then they came back and they said, that's the penalty from the Key and Peele skit. I can't. Oh.
All the shit they do for touchdown celebrations, I think he just twerked one too many times.
Well,
that was not twerking.
That wasn't twerking. That was busting.
That was a Shakira hip move.
Now, if Cousins would have dropped his
Lopez,
knees and put his mouth firmly in front of him, I could understand a penalty.
Now, I would stand up and do that move, but I'm not wearing any pants, so you guys don't want to see that.
It ain't no big thing. You're all right.
Oh, one other thing I forgot. You guys are both going to donate $100 to the Wildlife Federation of Oregon because I videotaped myself doing the moonwalk, which we'll put up next week.
We're going to donate money to your organ? What'd you just say?
The Wildlife Federation of Oregon, which is my charity.
Just for me, could you play that clip one more time of the penalty?
Oh, absolutely. I was going to do it one more time.
That's my favorite. Thank you.
Them eyes look like your eyes, Butler.
Oh God, I've never watched that. I've never watched that show. Do you believe that? I've never watched that. And I'm a big comedy fan. So.
Oh, that was funny.
So the Vikings kicker misses the second one, going into the half, and then the best thing that happened all day, and we couldn't capitalize it with 38 seconds left in the third. They fumble it, and Cook gets hurt, who's been running all over us all day,
and we don't do anything.
What in the
That's double
fucking
negative.
ever fuck was that?
We don't nothing. Come out empty-handed, 3 and out.
Was that play calling or was that play? Because the plays, I mean, they were still throwing it, they were passing it, passing it and they were running it, but I don't know what happened. They couldn't get anything from it.
Man.
Wasted
opportunities, man. Wasted opportunities.
So I'm different, man. Like you guys know me well enough to know that. Like I don't think like a lot of like a lot of normal people think. I just want them to be as aggressive as possible. I want them taking 30, 40-yard shots down the field at least every first down possession, at least every set of downs. I think that when you get into that game management mindset and you start making decisions based off of what you think might happen 10 minutes down the road, 2 quarters down the road, I think that you're doing yourself a disservice. It's like there's a person that's very close to me that's going to have a job interview, and there's another opportunity for that person to have an opportunity to have an interview with another position within that same company. And they're like, well, I should apply for this one too. And I was like, no, not yet. Not yet. Don't go in with a backup plan. I'm a very big person when it comes to the mentality that you enter a situation with. And if you go in thinking, feeling, understanding that there is a backup plan in case you're not successful, you're not going to be successful. This has to be your one chance, your one opportunity. I know it sounds like I'm going down M&M Road right now, but you get one shot. And if you start playing it soft because of trying to play statistics and looking at the clock and stuff, I get it. You have to look at the totality of circumstances. That's the second time I said that to you this week, Butler. You have to look at the whole picture, but I feel like there's times where they're not as aggressive as they could be. And I think that is what's holding that team back right now, is they need to be a little bit more aggressive all the time. And I think that's going to make a whole lot of difference.
Okay. I think, because that's exactly what we're saying, because you were all over the place there, but you had I know what you were saying, because they were playing, they were playing either with their heart, they were playing with their heart in the first quarter, and then they were playing analytically in the second quarter, and then they were playing stats in the third quarter. So it was just all over the place. You need to pick a lane and stay in the lane.
Right. Saying like, well, the announcers caught it perfect. And then they caught it, said, momentum has shifted. Momentum has left the Lions. The Vikings have all the momentum now when we ended that second quarter. Like, we were up 14 points, man, and we come up empty-handed after that.
Yeah, and Austin says here, Goff's limp dick arm. That's asking a lot, Neil. Honestly, look, I've been the hardest on Goff of anybody. I think we can all agree on that. But I have not been disappointed with the way Goff played the last couple weeks. He's played like a leader. He's played within the game plan. Mm-hmm. He's actually made some good decisions in audibles, which he's never been good at. He's been throwing downfield. He's been doing what he's supposed to do. So I can't get on the Goff hater wagon right now. I'm off the Goff hater wagon. 3 games in and I'm off.
Can I interject real quick?
You bet, Detroit Rick.
I made a couple statements at the bar today watching the game. And don't get me wrong, I love Stafford. But Goff did a couple things today that Stafford would have been sacked doing. Goff got rid of that ball when he needed to. There's plenty of times where Stafford would have kept running around, and just took the ball and cowered over and got sacked. Goff got rid of the ball a couple times. Now, I'm not comparing Goff to Stafford because I love Stafford. But Goff didn't make those mistakes today when he could have took a sack and he got rid of the ball. So, yeah, I'm not a Goff lover, but he did okay today, man. He really did.
All right, Neil.
I'll point something out real quick because you brought something up and I wasn't sure if I was imagining or not. You had last week, you had 3 backups on the offensive line. This week, you had 2 backups on the offensive line. You know how many times Goff got sacked this week?
0.
Yeah,
that's huge.
That is huge. Yeah, the offense.
Well, thank you, Butler. I love when you tell me that.
You wish I told you that. You talking little short bitch. He's played better. I'm not going to get too ahead of myself. I'm giving him props. And that's all I got. That's all you got.
That's all you got.
But
now, one thing I say. Go ahead.
I will say that sacks are not just entirely on the offensive line. Those do come down to the quarterback making good decisions. So
you're right.
He got out of the pocket a couple times too, where he should have been sacked. So, like I said, I'm not. I have no problems with Goff this week. I'm not, and I'm off the Goff hater wagon. I'm standing on the side of the road waiting for the bandwagon to drive by.
Speaking of bandwagon, check this out, guys. Got a second for a quick little thing here?
Yeah.
I had a golf tournament this week, and in the golf tournament, I'm wearing my Detroit Lions polo that Neil got us in Christmas time. We went to Detroit.
Yep.
This one guy walked in and was, "Hey, man, I'm loving your coach. You got a good team this year. You guys look really good. There'll be some high hopes for the Lions." So the guy walks and says, "Oh, here we go, all the bandwagon jumpers." I looked at this guy, man, shut the fuck up, dude. I watch every 0-16 game. Don't even fucking try it. But the recognition the Lions are getting right now, I mean, a lot of people are seeing what we got going on in Detroit. Today would have been a great opportunity for us to seal that a little bit.
Yeah.
But watching game day today, man, they talked a lot about the Lions and the potential that we have. So it's kind of cool. The victory today would have been great.
Right.
But
yeah,
we're getting some recognition.
I gotta disagree with Nick. I mean, we've had struggles in the defense the first week. We had absolutely 0 struggles in the defense last week. And again, I think they're going to come back next week. They're going to be a little stronger. They're going to play better. The biggest thing is that I don't think the defense is quite that bad.
Who's this? Who's Peter?
That's Rick's way of saying he wasn't listening to you.
I was listening.
Does that count? Does that count as one?
That counts as one. Another negative.
He said Peter.
I was listening to Butler. I got mad love for you, baby.
Yeah, whatever, Rick.
I'm going to masturbate to you later. I'm just reading this other thing here.
That's one. Another epic and pathetic loss that should have never. Oh, I counted Peter as one. He just said Peter.
That's
another
a guy's
epic
name.
And pathetic loss should never have the opportunity to happen. Typical Lions football, truly embarrassing. All right, Peter. Well, the same old Lions guys are there. They're out there. I disagree. I mean, this is the type of game that you're going to play when you play well. This is the type of game you're going to lose when you play well. You're going to be up and down. It's going to be a fight. Yes, I think the biggest problem for today was the coach. And Dan Campbell's into the shittiest thing about today is Dan Campbell's going to go back to the locker room. He's going to step up and he's going to go, "Yep, it's all on me. It was all my fault. I should have done this. I should have done that." Yeah, you should have. But if you're going to play like that, play like that. If you're not going to play like that, don't. But don't do it for one half and do it completely different the second half.
Did you notice in the end of the fourth quarter, he had the play chart in his hand and he was calling plays? Did you notice that?
I'm sure he was helping, but I think ultimately it was him. Ultimately, he has the final say, but
remember, he's the man. He's the boss. He's in charge.
Yeah, the go for it's on fourth down, and 3 for 3 in the first half, 0 for 3 or 4 in the second half with an interception. I mean, it was silly. It was silly.
I do just want to reiterate. Troy on YouTube had said, that was a tough loss, guys. No, it really was. There's a difference. There's a difference in how we lose.
Right.
If we went out there and we just were getting stomped the whole game and we lost by 20 points, we never were within sniffing distance of that game. And somebody else had said that earlier on. I think I'm not sure who it was, but somebody else said that earlier on. We were we sniffed first place in the division. If we're going to go out there and just get our butts kicked, let's go get our butts kicked. I'll feel good about it. I'll drink beers. We'll come out here. We'll talk. We'll have a good time. But man, like I said at the very beginning, you lead if you're not losing for 59 minutes and that last minute is the one that you lose in and it costs you the game, it makes it tough to swallow, man.
It hurts.
And this is the only thing that comes back to defense, because you got to look at this. The Lions have 95 total points in 3 games. I mean, last year, I don't think the Lions had 95 points in 6 games. So, again, the offense is scoring points. The defense is a little shaky. Again, after last week, I was like, oh, that's settled. But you're going to win some. And like Neil said, if you're going to have a tough loss like this, I'll take it any day over just same old Lions. We come home and get drunk and do the podcast. I did have a little something to cheer us up. I made a little video of you guys. If you guys got, yeah, it's 1 minute long, so you gotta stick with it to the end. It's a little high on volume. I put a music onto it because, as you guys know, I'm a drone aficionado. I like to fly my drone out here at my property and around the area. And I found something this morning when I was out that kind of made me think we were going to win the game today. So you guys can hang in there for a minute, watch your volume, and check.
What'd you find?
Just check this out. You'll see it right here.
If you see me cooking, just stay away from my stove. Well, I seen you looking. Well, our fire's burning low. Well, I'm gonna keep it really greasy, 'cause that's the way I fucking roll.
All right, we didn't lose any viewers that whole time. Awesome. You guys like that? I just found that. I found that on the side of my house. Isn't that weird?
Now you got to show a picture of the steaks.
Crazy.
You got to, for those of you that don't know what this is about, you kind of got to show the pictures of Kirk Cousins barbecuing.
So that's Kirk Cousins barbecuing some steaks, and we go ahead and
Them are steaks, man.
we'll zoom in on that. Look at those beautiful pieces of meat.
That's not even a steak, man. Looks like a liver. Oh, there we go. Talking about liver. What's up, girl?
So, anyways, yeah, I found that on my property. Isn't that weird that just showed up on the side of my house?
That's crazy.
Bizarre.
It's weird.
That's like geocaching. It's really incredible.
Yeah. So
I was actually more impressed with the fact that your drone can break that well. They just stopped.
It's got this really cool feature where you can just press the button and it just stops. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
That drone flies fast, man.
That's half the speed. It can go 20.
Damn.
It can go actually. It can go almost 100 miles an hour if I have the controller. But I'm
Shut up.
Them, so.
You serious?
Dude, they're fast, man.
Wow.
They're fast. But that was about 15, 17 miles an hour. So 45 seconds left, and the Vikings are wide open in the end zone. You got Kirk Cousins sitting back there, the worst steak cook ever, the worst barbecue, and the Coles king, the king of Coles, and he throws a touchdown.
Let's back up a little bit. Let's back up to the part where the Vikings are driving down the field and they have no timeouts left.
No timeouts. Means they can't stop the clock.
They can't stop the clock. So, what did our coaching staff decide to do?
Can I guess?
Yeah, go ahead.
Let's call a timeout.
Let's help you guys. Let's help you guys out. Let's help you gather.
Is there any way that makes sense? I was trying to think. Am I missing something?
Unless the defense was just so poorly set up in terms of the personnel that they had out there, or they didn't understand the play, or the coaching staff had a difficult time getting the play in time. I mean, there's a couple of really valid reasons why they might call timeout, but like calling timeout in a situation like that is one of the last things that you want to do. You don't want to give them an opportunity to breathe.
And we would have saved ourselves a timeout when we got the ball. We'd have had at least one timeout when we got the ball, instead of having to waste at the Hail Mary like we did, which you need to do that eventually. But we would have had time to stop the clock, regroup.
I almost felt like after that, I think that they realized that they screwed up and they needed some time back. So going to the thing that you started this portion of it with the them being wide open and getting the touchdown, I almost feel like that was kind of like a gimme play.
Save some time.
Let's get the ball back with some time. If I'm struggling today, man.
I'm
struggling today. This was such a hard game to sit here and try to make sense out of. You guys know as well as anybody else that I will always try to rationalize and will always try to justify decisions that are made by the coaching staff and by the organization in general. And I'm fucking struggling today, man. This was a tough one. Like Ralph says, this one hurts today. I haven't felt this bad in a while. Ralph, how you doing, brother?
Ralphie. Then you got Desean up there too, Desean.
Maybe Shannon Sharp. I don't disagree with you. We might have to get Shannon Sharp back on here.
Let's get caught up on some of this stuff here.
I'm going to jump off for a sec, guys. I got some technical issues, so keep going, all right? I'm going to put up
your batteries run out of your butt plug?
Yes, that's exactly what happened.
You should buy a Bluetooth one. Hey, Neil.
We just got really big,
He got really big.
That's the first time Rick ever got.
You got a big-ass coconut, dude.
You're crazy. All right, so let's go through some of the comments that we might have missed here.
Camel toe. Oh, that was a picture.
Sharon said, we do good during the first and second quarters, but for some insane reason, we take the foot off the pedal during the third and fourth quarters, make big time mistakes and calls and give the game away. Completely agree. And this is I hope this isn't a habit. I hope this isn't something that happens regularly, because we're used to it, and we're Butler's a big guy on saying they didn't put a complete game together.
Right.
And also on that topic, we'll take a couple minutes here in a minute to talk about the field goal kicker situation. But a full game doesn't just mean the offense is playing well, the defense is playing well, the special teams units are playing well. It means that they're playing well through all four quarters of the game.
Right.
And they haven't done that yet. They've showed so much potential, but potential to me is one of those things. I've said it before. Potential, I hate the word potential because it means that you're capable of something but haven't done it yet. I want potential to go away. I want it to be.
And I use that word a lot.
I see potential in you. That means you're screwing up.
Yeah, it means you're fucking up, but you can be better. And then Kevin right there, typical loss, fewer than 5 points. I mean, how many games have we lost by 5 points and less?
Too many. We're the spread covering kings.
Yeah, it was a rough one, boys. But like I said, I'm disappointed. But if we're gonna lose a game, I feel way better about losing it that way than I do of the way we've been losing the last couple of years, especially with old Fatty Matty Patty. And honestly, I got one graphic here that I think is really good. And let me know what you think of this, Neil. Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes will be dealing with Matt Patricia's horrific decisions for a long time. Even more reason to respect this new regime. That's from Jay Baku on Twitter.
After this season, no more excuses. You can blame them through this season.
Yeah.
You've got the tough contract with Jared Goff, which was not their decision. It was not a Matt Patricia and a Quinn decision. But
that's shaken out. So
that's okay. So you're in a tough spot with some contract stuff. You're in maybe a tougher spot than you needed to be, because there were some really good football players that got dealt at the end of that regime. Slay and Diggs being two of them. Mm-hmm. I think that this is year two with this coaching staff and with this front office. And once the money thing's not an issue anymore, you can kind of put that on the previous one with just things being in a weird spot with contracts that they gave out. Terry made he made me laugh last week because I was like, I noticed that Brockers was wearing number 90, and I said, wasn't Brockers 91 last year? I said, wasn't wasn't Trey Flowers 90? And he goes, I don't know. I never saw Trey Flowers on the field. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Terry has some good ones once in a while.
All right, I got you. But I mean, there's some sins of our father that we're still paying for.
Well, that's
really actually paying for. So after this year, I don't think we get to blame it on them anymore.
Okay, well, let's talk about the refs a little bit. I know you don't want to, Neil, and I'm not going to blame the refs. I don't blame the refs. I'm just saying, if you're going to call a game, they evened it out in the fourth there. Because the first half, I don't know who Kirk Cousins was thrown to. He looked like Goff in the first game. There was intentional grounding at least twice. He was not outside the tackles. They didn't call anything, and then they were calling everything on Aurier. And then the fourth, they kind of finally let him play. Which
I love how you just say Aurier really fast.
That's how I just say it. Aurier. Hey, look, we're not broadcasters. We don't need to be professional and learn their names. All right. If I can't say it, I can't say it. No,
Butler's saying Wario from Mario Brothers.
Wario. Chef Boyardee. I don't give a fuck what his name is. He shouldn't have had 6 penalties.
6.
But
has any player ever had 6 penalties before?
I'm sure they have, but
how often that could happen?
Ronnie Lott probably had 10 or 20. But yeah,
but you can't compare Ronnie Lott to this dude.
Well, no. That was rough. That was rough. But the refs, Rick, you wanted to talk about the refs earlier.
No, I did already. I don't want to be that guy because I hate when people say throw the flag. But if you're calling bad calls on both sides, then do it. It's like pitching the strike zone. Strike zone needs to be the same on both sides. So that the pass interference call on number 24, I ain't gonna try to say his name because I'll fuck it up. That was done 3 or 4 times to the Lions and nothing. So come on.
Holding on the Lions all day. It was right in front of the refs. I saw it. I see it every week. I know there's holding going on, but it's so obvious in front of the refs every week. I don't know what it is, why the Lions never get holding calls.
We never get the penalties, and it drives me crazy. Well, and I guess the worst one was when Goff got punched in the back by that fucking dude. Okay, he's already on his knees, and he hits him and punches him. But as he slides in to hit him, fucking clinch, bam, pops him in the back.
Is that what happened, Neil? I didn't see that play. I didn't see that on that play.
He was in the bathroom taking a shit.
I was not. I was outside. I was outside taking a shit.
All right, people in the chat, is Rick out of his mind? I didn't see that on that play.
So I will say I didn't personally see that. I will say 2 things about the officiating today. One, quarters 1 through 3, they frustrated me how things were getting called, but I think that it got called pretty clean through the 4th quarter. 2, and this has nothing to do, because I'm sure somebody's going to say something about it, but this has nothing to do with the referee's gender. But the one play where there was, I think it was it was the St. Brown. Was it a fumble? Was it not a fumble? And the ref runs up and she's just like, and Swift is standing there. Like he's trying to make, he's standing up vertical, and she just comes up and starts to like slapping the shit out of him in the back, and he turns to her like, why me? And then it frustrated me because it felt like a WWE moment where the one person just kind of like egregiously distracts the ref, and then you got Stone Cold and The Rock just whooping the shit out of Triple H for a couple minutes. And he's like, no, go look over there. Quit looking at me. I'm not doing anything.
I'm just standing here.
Seven people on that pile, and she's slapping him on the shoulder.
It was like complete focus on it. I felt kind of like WWE vibes on that whole thing, but it was like leave him alone and go look at what's supposed to be getting looked at. That's the only thing I have to say about the referee today.
All right.
Well, here's the thing, though. No team is going to go 3 quarters without getting a penalty. It was. I think it was late in the third quarter to Minnesota finally got a penalty. No one plays that freaking clean. Not in the NFL. It doesn't happen.
All right.
That's all I got to say about that. Oh, I need my safe space. Sorry.
If he sticks to you,
no. Butler Mills being nasty.
Whoa. Matthew Morris, player of the week. Who did we decide on? Goff?
Well, this is for the folks to decide. We're going to give 3 options, and the comments are going to decide who gets to win. Unlike last week, I want it to be a clean win. so I don't have to be the deciding factor. But we got Jared Goff this week. We have Jamal Williams. And we have Desean Elliott as candidates for Player of the Week. So we'll let the comments take a couple minutes and get themselves in there.
Jamal had a good game again. I was bummed to see St. Brown and Swift hurt. That's going to be tough going down the road. I mean, I know St. Brown's going to fight through it and Swift's going to fight through it, but if they're not 100%. So you guys go ahead and vote on the Matthew Morris Player of the Week. We're going to go on to –
that was Jared Goff, Jamal Williams, Desean Elliott.
Williams should get it just alone for a celebration. I mean, that was some good movement in there.
Oh, Hingle Crickberry.
Wait, I have that. Hold on one sec. I've got that. Let's take a look. Whoa, Rick disappeared.
He's doing a magic trick right now. He had to drain beer. He'll be right back.
I wonder, is he wearing his Montucky Cold Snacks underwear?
No, he was definitely not the model for those.
He's wearing those ones. He's
talking.
All right, cool. So looks like we're pretty close to picking the Matthew Morris Player of the Week. Any more votes out there? Is that all we got? 2 votes? Yeah, all right, whatever. I guess it's getting late in the day. 46 minutes in. Rick has only said penis 3 times. 3 times. That's amazing. And one of them was actually a name, but I'm counting it.
He's back.
I saw. Hey, Ricky.
I'm old, man. I'm 60.
Yeah, what does that do?
Hey, you went away for a while, too.
You got to get up and finger your butt every once in a while in
I
the bathroom?
do. Hey,
okay.
Don't judge me. Smart finger.
Don't
so
finger in my face. I'll slap the shit out of you.
I wash my hands. So I got a story, man.
Whoa, that's weird because I just brought up that we got Detroit Rick's story of the week.
Week.
So I was gonna talk about the time I went to Vancouver for a Red Wings hockey game and I kind of violated the mascot. But I got a better story because it's a little more appropriate for the game today. So there's a bunch of my buddies. We're trying to go to all the stadiums before I die. So I think we did 22.
Clock is ticking, by the way.
And I'm gonna die, so I got to get busy. So I went to Minnesota. So I got to tell you, Minnesota fans, they are the freaking coolest. And there's a whole lot of really pretty blondes in Minnesota too. So we go to the bar and we're in our Detroit Galley and people just buying shots and drinks for us all night long. And we go to the game the next day. And I'm the guy that paints a helmet on their head. So we're in the hotel room and my buddy Jimbo's painting a helmet on my head and gets it all done. And we go down to the lobby and get some breakfast. And we're sitting in there and there were literally tables of Vikings women on football trips. You know, I'm like, holy shit. I mean, there was more Viking female fans in there than dudes. I mean, tables full. I'm like, holy shit, these are serious here in the city. So we go to the game. And we're partying, we're drinking, and the fans are just cool as shit. Everybody's just being just overly nice. So I go down to get a beer, and I'm walking up the steps, and this guy goes, "Lions suck." And I just kind of flipped him off as I walked by. Then I heard in a deeper voice, "Hey, get back down here, Detroit." I turned around and think, oh, great, now I got to fight the dad and the kid. So I go back down, and the dad goes, "You tell that Lions fan you're sorry." And the kid goes, "I'm sorry." He goes, "You don't disrespect fans like that. These are our visitors that come to our city. You respect them." I'm like, "No, it's okay, sir." He goes, "No, it's not okay. It's bullshit." So the kid shook my hand. I felt bad for the kid, so I went and bought a couple more beers and gave them to him. Then I go take a piss. There's a man rule. Everybody knows the man rule. If there's a bunch of urinals, you don't stand next to somebody. Nope. So I go in there, and there's 20 freaking open urinals. Now I'm standing there taking the piss. I'm like, la, 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 la. All of a sudden, my peripheral vision, I feel this guy come up, and he's right next to me. Stands right next to me, starts pissing. I'm thinking, this motherfucker. All of a sudden, he goes, "Anybody paints a helmet on their head is a fucking dick." And I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ. So I'm thinking, do I keep peeing, turn and pee and piss on him and punch him? Or do I finish? Do I shake it, zip up, and then hit him? So I think, okay, I'm going to finish pissing. So I finish peeing, I zip up, I clench my fist to turn on and just pop this motherfucker. I turn on and hit him. He's got a Minnesota helmet on his head. I'm like, "You're a dick." And we both go in the hallway, kind of bullshitting. Man, we had like 50 beers bought for us, 100 pictures taken with us. It was just a good time, man. Minnesota fans are actually pretty cool. That's my story.
Do you really dance when you pee?
Yeah, do you really go la 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 and dance?
Everybody does.
That's what I took from it. That
You
was
don't,
awesome.
you don't hum a tune when you're peeing?
I don't go la 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 and dance around, but
My baloney has a first name. Never mind.
It's all
That
right.
was Detroit Rick's story of the week. So let's get back to the Matthew Morris Player of the Week. I think that it's overall Jamal Williams wins Matthew Morris Player of the Week.
What? Because that was a roller coaster.
We got a Detroit Rick hater here. Look at that. You need to be popped in the head. Ooh. We got a Vikings fan on here?
What's your problem?
Wow. I've never heard anybody not like Detroit Rick.
I bet you stand next to guys in the urinal when there's 10 open next to you.
I think it's very important for Greg to understand that if you ever physically see and interact with Rick, you feel sorry for him. So it's one of those things. It's like it's punching him in the head's never really.
I just want to know why Greg wants to punch him in my head.
Rick's been popped in the head one too many times, Greg, already. So, all right. So let's wrap this up, boys. We're getting kind of close. Is there anything we missed? I mean, I think the biggest takeaway I took this week was the 95 total opponent game points. The offense is making strides. They're scoring points. We just need the defense to tighten it up a little bit, and I think we'll be okay.
I don't disagree with you.
Yeah.
I was saying
this is weird. We should not agree this much.
I know.
Well, we're kind of depressed right now, but man.
I know. Well, that doesn't.
Well, we have the Seahawks next week, and we got the front table at for the Seahawks game next week, and
let's talk about the kicking situation real quick. Is that going to be a problem moving forward? Did they pull the reins today, and it's going to be an afterthought, or do we?
I think they'll probably get rid of that. They'll be looking for somebody first part of the week tomorrow if they don't release that kicker today. I understand they don't have anybody else to go with, but at the same time, it's like, okay, that's not going to work. Also, I don't know about the Awarrior, whatever. There should be something going on with him.
Right.
You can't tell those guys not to play, but
let me ask you guys.
Something happens.
So a player gets 6 penalties. Okay, when you get 4 penalties in the half, I mean, where do you draw the line and say if a pitcher gives up freaking 10 runs by the 3rd inning, he's sitting on the bench. Why did we not replace him? Why do you not put him on the bench and put someone in? Is there nobody that can replace this guy? I mean, come on, 6 penalties, huge, costly penalties. Not just little penalties where one being a first down.
Can I answer that one?
Yeah.
Because whoever you put in there behind him is not riding the bench because he's a better football player. You very well may get less penalties. Would you rather give up 60 penalty yards or 120 earned yards?
But he didn't give up 120 earned yards.
No, he didn't. But if you would have pulled him and put somebody else in there that's not as physically good at playing football as he is, chances of that person giving up more yards without the penalties, that goes up.
Everybody has a bad day. Maybe he's having a bad day. Set him on a bench. Let him think about it for a minute. Put him on a bench for a couple of plays. Let him think about it. But he never got put on the bench. He is in the whole time.
Let him think about it. Yeah, I guess I shouldn't have got the penalty thrown on me. You guys are right. All right, coach, I'm good.
Yeah.
The let the football player think about it thing, I don't agree with. I think that, like, if it's a thing where you have like literally 3 plays in a row where that person's gotten the penalty, you pull them out for a couple minutes and you just, dude, chill out.
Right.
Go out there and play. You're the best option that we have. But to sit here and say that, you fouled out of the game, go in there and get them.
6 penalties.
Go in there and get them, Mr. Backup.
So 6 penalties. So are you saying he was being targeted by the officials, or he just made mistakes, or he was bullshit calls? I would say 50-50 on those. I mean, that many calls on one player. That's a lot of freaking penalties.
That was a lot.
And big play penalties that gave him first downs.
Right.
Austin, I will answer your question.
I'll bring it up.
Hands down right now, I would rather have Lamar Jackson than Jared Goff.
Thank you, Greg.
But let's look at how the season shakes out before you start making decisions like that. Because if Jared Goff comes out and he's a slightly above average quarterback, I feel like you can do more with a slightly above average quarterback than you can do with a jersey selling quarterback. in terms of salary cap. So you know what Lamar Jackson's going to cost you. Jared Goff is not going to fetch the contract that he's currently on.
Right.
He'll still get paid, but he's not going to require Lamar Jackson money, and that depends. The team's going to have to look at the whole situation and say, do we want to pay X amount of money for this great person who's going to get the highlights and sell jerseys, and I don't know if he's won a playoff game yet or not, or do we stick with this person who's still better than mean and pay him less money and ride with that? So there's a case to be made on both sides of that one. So
yeah, I put up the one thing I did do when you guys were talking there is I put up the picks for the year, and all of us are still could come out where we need to be.
You're saying there's a chance.
Yeah, saying there's a chance. Neil's final picks were 12-5. Rick's were 10-7, and mine were 9-8. So, let's finish it off like we did the last couple of weeks. What's the best part of this team right now?
The offensive line.
Yeah.
Even hurt. Their depth.
Yeah.
God, I hate agreeing with you. Fuck. This fucking
Skip. He's come in. He's played 2 different guard spots in the past 2 weeks. Called up from the practice squad and started.
Ragnar was back this week. I mean,
yeah.
The offensive line's been playing fantastic. They've given that might be the difference. Maybe it was never Goff. Maybe it was just the offensive line never gave him the time to Goff. So
possible.
I don't believe I'm saying this. What the fuck is going on this week? I'm agreeing with Neil. I'm on Goff's side. I can't do this. Can't do the podcast like this.
And I have to agree with Neil, the offensive line. I know last week I probably should have went with our offense because it was what's that?
I said, well, shit, I got 2 agrees.
Well, so last year I was all like, the defense was great last week, and with Hutchinson and the 3 sacks. So I was on that, but I knew that the offense was great last week, and the offensive line this week, dude. I mean,
they're playing well, man.
They're playing well. They're playing real well. There's no sacks. A lot of pressure on Goff, or what's his nickname now? Gossam. So, like I said before, he dropped in the backfield and he didn't take the sacks. He got rid of the ball when he needed to. So, yeah, offensive line, baby.
All right. Well, I'm glad we all agree on something for once. Next 2 weeks, we'll be back here, probably in this format. And then I'll be up for 2 weeks up there. So it'll be like classic Rain City Roar. Doesn't sound like we'll be at Rick's house. Did you sell that place, Ricky?
Yeah, we got it. Yeah, but we got 30 days. I got to close on it. So when are you coming up here, dude?
I will be up for the weekend of the 10th, or the game on the 11th, and the game on the game on the 16th, and the game on the 23rd. I'll be up for that.
I booked my flight to New York today.
Yep, and I'm fitting to.
Can you guys send me your stuff so I can get mine booked? I don't know if I'm going to do Detroit, but I'm definitely going to do New York.
I think we did.
Go to Detroit with us for Thanksgiving, man. Bring your ass to Detroit. You got to go to the Thanksgiving Day game. Have you never been to a Thanksgiving Day game?
I know. It's a long bit. I'm traveling a lot for work. I had a lot of stuff going on, but we'll see what happens. So, hey guys, hang in there. I think it was a good game. I think we're going to be all right. I think it's going to be a good season. If I can be positive, you guys can. Yeah. Temper down the negativity and let's go Lions. So
we have been in every game this year.
Absolutely.
All 3 of them.
Absolutely.
Well,
okay.
Yeah, and I agree with that. But like who said earlier? Someone said on there earlier, another loss, but less than 5 points.
We got everybody jumping in. We're gonna beat Seattle next week.
What we got?
I like Matthew here. Got to beat the Seahawks next week. I call them the Sea Sucks. That's my favorite one. So
just letting you guys know, we might be a little bruised and battered when we come in here and do the show next week.
You guys they're gonna be really drunk. The over under. And by the way, Rick hit the under this week. So Neil got the under. I got the over. And if you got the under, you guys won. So there will be a penis trophy that Rick will personally hand out at the end of the season.
What the fuck, Butler? So we'll tell you.
Already got it ordered, baby. All right. Until next week, I'm Butler.
I'm Neil.
I'm Detroit Rick. Peace out, bitches.